Hello and welcome everybody to this amazing session. Hope you guys having an amazing day. It's Emil Clason here talking, and today we have an amazing guest, Shima. Shima, she is a passionate entrepreneur, executive and business coach, heart intelligence facilitator, certified relationship coach, motivational speaker, and founder of Coaching Mindfulness Academy Infinite Love. Now, Shima, she has more than 15 years in international business development, organizational, and individual consulting, coaching, and mentoring. She speaks English, Spanish, German, Persian fluently. I mean, guys, this is crazy. Now, she's traveled more than 180 days a year for the past 15 years, and she's lived in the 6 different countries, 3 continents. A part of her academic study and master degrees in didactic educational activities, she has studied NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and organization coaching, leadership mindset training, relationship coaching, communication, mindfulness, psychology, and among them also quantum physics. So, welcome Shima to today's show, today's interview. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Emil, for this great introduction, and thank you for your time. It's an honor for me to be here and share this time with your audience. Thank you so much.
Amazing, Shima. So yes, my pleasure to have you here. It's an amazing background that you have. I've heard amazing things. You have created such an amazing community around you. You surround yourself with amazing individuals. And so it's truly my pleasure to have you here today. And so I wanted to ask you, because today I was talking with a couple of friends and clients that I work with, and they always mention back to their anger issues, or some they struggle with anger management. So I know you have great techniques and great knowledge on how to handle this. So if you could just tell me, what would you do in if you were in their shoes?
Okay, that's a great topic. And I think anger management is very important in our life. And we have to first understand what is anger, where is it coming from, and what is the side effect of not being able to manage our anger in a healthy way. And when we learn how to manage our anger, actually the anger becomes a gift for us. Now, at the end of this, I will tell you how the anger, that's something that always is considered as something negative, can play a completely different and positive role in our life if we learn how to manage it. So let's use a very simple example. What is anger? Imagine a little 4 years old child. You want to get into the car with. You don't want to let the child sit behind the wheel to drive your car, and you don't want to stuff the child in the boot neither, right?
Right.
So you need to know where to put the child to have a safe trip. Your anger is the same. It's like a little child. Is not safe if you allow that to drive, and is not safe if you stuff it in the boot. So we have 2 types of the people when we're talking about anger management. One type that we call them eruptor, the ones that they get really angry and they get like a volcano, they erupt their emotions and they start to shout or break things or really get everything out in an unhealthy way. And we have another type, which are normally the pleaser personalities, that they always want to please others and to play the good girl or good boy role. And those type of personalities, they basically suppress their anger. None of these two actually are healthy. Okay. So why is not healthy? Why? What anger does to a body? Anger will, normally you have the anger response in your body when you are having a threat. No, when you're receiving a threat of something is considered as a threat for you. Right. What happens when you're receiving this message? Your brain considers that you are in a dangerous situation, in a threatful situation. So it will release stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline and put your body in fight or flight mode. And what is that? Means that you can fight back. You have a lot of adrenaline, you can fight back and you can save yourself, or you can fly away and you can run and hide yourself, which is a lot of cortisol in your body. If this continues on a long run, you're gonna have your body goes out of balance. The pH of the blood goes out of balance, goes acidy, and when the pH goes acid, you can develop any type of disease. Basically, stress is number one killing factor in the world. Scientific studies shows that over 80% of primary doctor visits are due to stress. Over 80%. And only 3% get a stress management technique and a stress management help. So any type of disease that you're talking about, like heart disease, cardiovasculars, or I don't know, skin cancer, different type of cancer, all of them come down to your emotions. How you're managing your emotions come down to the stress. So, and anger is one of those situations, right? Whether you're stuffing your anger, you are having a lot of stress hormone in your body, or you are erupted completely and you're again having a lot of stress hormones in your body. So both of them create this disease in your body. So you need to really learn and become aware of it, what you are doing to your body. So you need to learn how to manage it. The best techniques to manage the anger is through mindfulness. Okay, so maybe you want to know what is mindfulness.
Exactly. I would think that the audience would love to know exactly what mindfulness is and how they can take most advantage out of it.
Okay, so mindfulness means to have your attention on a particular single act at the same time. Means if you're eating, for instance, you're having your lunch, you can fully be present in the taste, in the texture, in the smell, in everything of the food that you are putting in your mouth. Now, if you are having your lunch, watching a TV, or thinking about something which is like, okay, what I'm going to do after that, or thinking about something that happened before, you're not mindful.
Right.
You're into, at the same time, you're multitasking. So to be mindful means you should be completely present in one single act at the time.
Right.
And so some people, they take this concept, they mistake the concept with putting your mind in blank, right? Many times when they talk about mindfulness, they say, okay, put your mind in blank. And basically that is mind emptiness. You don't want to put your mind in blank. You want to be completely focused on one single task.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So basically, being mindful is being in the now, really enjoying and being activating the senses of like being present. Right now I'm listening to you, I'm looking to you, and I'm hearing the sound of my words as they come out, and being fully present in what it is now. And I think that's so beautiful said as well, because at the end of the day, now is what matters. In 15 seconds or in 15 minutes or in a year, we don't know what's going to happen, right? So I love that. I love that. Question for you, Shima, because I have a friend of mine, and he's quite similar to me. Growing up, I think honestly, I've had this pleaser personality, right? Like want everyone to like me, so on. So I've developed, and so he came to me and he's like, man, I have this feeling of like, I gotta please everyone. And for example, even if, let's say, because he's trying to shift out of a group of people that he no longer wants to be, or maybe wants to bring some of them with him that see the potential. Now he tells me that every time he's trying to put out himself or show his new development, his new him, he feels bad about doing that because he feels guilt or pity of them other friends not being in that level or not wanting that. So what would you say to him?
Mhm. So basically, he feels bad to express himself and to express what he has achieved and to share with others.
Basically, yes.
Okay, so that is mainly comes back from his childhood. I mean, everything, the personality, 85% of our personality is built by the age we are 6 years old, and normally between 2 to 6, because that's the time our brain is on the theta brainwave, acting on theta brainwave, like walking around in a basically meditative or hypnosis state and grabbing and recording everything. So what we have to see what happened in his past first. If you ask me, I would go and sit with him and see what happened when he was between 2 to 6, and how he was treated by expressing himself at home and by people or the take carers or parents whenever he wanted to talk about what he achieved or what he made, and
Okay.
see where that mentality come from.
Okay.
Okay, because when we become aware of the mentality that where is it coming from, then it's very easy to shift it, because we understand that, okay, I got this mentality only because of survival. It was a survival instinct. I got it because I could please my mother, or I could please my father, or I could please this or that. Then you become aware of it, and you know that you're no longer in danger of a life threat, so you can let go of that behavior. So it's very powerful to just talk about it a little bit about that time and see how your parents supported you or your take carers at that age when you were talking about your success or everything that you were doing. That's very important. So you will break the pattern. You go deep in a very short time and you break the pattern. Now, if you want to see, okay, now I am here and I want to share with others about what I have achieved. Okay, so the question is, why do you want to share it? Are you going to share it because you want to motivate them? What is the reason behind? Or you want to share it because you want to show them something? So if my mindset is that I'm sharing it because I want to show them that I'm better than them, then there is a contradiction, of course, in my mindset that, okay, I'm already doing something bad because I'm showing off.
Right.
But if I'm telling them because I want to raise them, to motivate them, to help them, then that is great motivation, and the way you're going to express it is going to be completely different.
Right. That's huge. That's huge. That is amazing. Yeah, and I tend to think as well, like when it comes down to, you know, exactly acting upon certain things that you tend to act. I think the mindset, that your intentions behind them can really express a difference on the way you act them. So I totally agree on that. And going back to anger management, to really, when feeling frustrated or stressed at certain points, do you think that people should always dig back to where does this come from? Meaning that reprogramming stage of 0 to 6.
Well, that is very difficult if you're angry. Go that back. So this is the previous reply was regarding to a friend who wanted to show or express himself and his feeling to others. But when we come back to the anger management, if something happened or you're in a conversation that something occurred that makes you angry, then we are going to use some techniques that are based on mindfulness, that specifically we're going to talk about 4 of them, that help you to manage your anger in a healthy way. Okay? And the first one and most important one is just breathing exercise. Because your distance to your breath, to your peace, is 1 breath away. Your distance to your peace is 1 breath away. So, how are we going to do that? We are just going to inhale from our nose imagine a cool, cold blue air is coming inside your nose. And you're going to exhale from your mouth and imagining a red hot air is coming out of your mouth. So let's do that together.
Let's do it.
Okay?
Let's do it.
Okay, inhale this cool blue air into your nose and exhale the red air out of your mouth. And another time. And one more time. How do you feel now?
I feel great. I feel great. It's crazy how only 3 breaths already make a huge difference.
It does make a huge difference.
Wow. Yeah.
So just the breathing, the most important thing that we don't know how to manage it. You know, they say manage your breath, manage your life. It's very important. So how do we breathe? And especially when we are in a situation that we feel threatened and we feel angry, the easiest way that you can manage your anger, and you can do it at any given moment, you don't need any specific circumstances or space or something, you can do it just is your breath. So you start to breathe deeply and slowly, imagine the cool blue air going in, and the visualization of the color helps you a lot to cool down. And then you exhale. And normally I say to my breath, I say mentally, slow down, slow down. If you just say that mentally, slow down, you are commanding your breath to slow down. So you really don't need to put any effort to reduce the speed of your breath. You just command, slow down. And you realize all of a sudden you're breathing much slower and deeper, right? So when you are engaging your breathing basically into the much calmer pace, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And now you're sending the message to your brain that you are safe. Because once you receive the threat and you got angry, the message that your brain received is that you are not safe, so it should save you. And that's why it releases the cortisol and adrenaline, and like you breathe much faster, and then you have all this stamina to run away or to hide, right? But now when you breathe slowly, you're sending this message to your brain that I'm safe. And now the brain can focus on releasing the healing hormones, or even oxytocin or dopamine in your body, which are feel-good hormones. Okay, so this is the first thing to do to breathe. And now imagine you are in a fight, in the middle of a fight with your wife or husband or roommate or colleague, or so it's a difficult situation. You keep hearing the words you don't want to hear. Your anger is just flaming, and you're getting more and more angry. And now what you're going to do? Only breathing is not helping you, or is not finishing, it's making you calmer, but still you are very angry. So the second technique that I would recommend you to do is to name your emotion. Like, I am feeling angry, like saying that, or I feel tension in my shoulders, or I feel tension in my back. When you name it, already you're sending the different response to your nervous system. By just naming it, you're already switching between two sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system.
Should you name it to yourself, to your partner?
No, to yourself. To yourself.
Okay.
So if you are normally, my advice to couples that are like in that situation is that one of them better you leave the room or go for a walk. Don't stay in the same room and try to avoid, and when you are angry, to avoid to have conversations, because it's not going to get anywhere good for you. Once you're calm, you can come back and communicate in an effective way. So normally I tell them to go for a walk or go outside, and then you can go to the next steps, which, for instance, name your emotion, or also tap into the compassion. That is the third technique. Do it differently from the part of compassion. Means you tell yourself, I am hurting myself right now. When you're angry, you know that when you're angry, you are having a lot of stress hormones in your body, which are affecting your well-being and health. So you tell yourself, and from a point of compassion, that I'm hurting myself right now. What can I do, or how could I do it differently? Ask yourself this question. Again, by asking this question and activating the compassion, you again send a different type of hormones. You're again releasing different type of hormones in your body, like oxytocin, as we mentioned before. So just by simple technique, just asking, bringing the compassion, you start to activate those parts of the brain that release the oxytocin in your body. So you start to feel better.
Right.
Okay, so this is coming based on self-love. That is one of our main teaching, that to start to have compassion for yourself and love yourself, and knowing that, okay, if this is making me angry, is not the right place to stay right now, and I have to distance from it, and I have to do it differently.
Right. I love that. I love that, and I truly agree that compassion is really powerful. It's super powerful. So yeah.
Absolutely. And also, if you're the type of pleaser that you don't want to show your anger, and you are really putting it in, you're really stuffing your anger, and I would recommend you to feel it, at least to feel your anger, because it's important. Many times you're stuffing your anger, but this will create long-term issues and health issues in your body. So if you have to clench your fist, and if you have to say no, do it.
Yes.
But don't take everything in, right? I don't recommend you to erupt and go and shout, but if you have to feel it in your body, see where is in your body going, where the anger is going in your body, feel it and allow this to be expressed in your body in a healthy way. Just don't stuff it just because you think you don't see it is not there.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the things I like to do when I feel like heavy on my shoulders or stressed out or anger, I love to go to nature and just shout
Yeah.
shout like crazy. Like there's just like let everything go. Like last weekend I was actually by the river, no one there, just me. I went in the river and cold water as well, and I was just like, it's so cold. It just made me shout and release everything. It was like, ah! And after, I just felt how my whole body just came down and just all the anger out and just felt like an immense feeling of abundance.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think feeling those emotions and
This is beautiful because you went there to the nature and you could release your anger. You didn't release it on someone. You went to the nature and you just get scream, you get it out, and you got the cold water, which is really good for immunity. So you did all that. You expressed it in a healthy way, right? You didn't let it be there, and because when we let it be there, it's really creating a lot of health issues in our body. So very good, very good. And number 4 is to inquire. Inquire means to ask, to ask genuinely what this is going to teach me, or what the anger is trying to tell me or to show me that I am unwilling to see. The reason we become angry, the other things, the programmings and conditioning that we have at our childhood, something triggers that, you know. So when you are honest with yourself and asking what this anger wants to show me, then your anger becomes your gift because it becomes your biggest teacher. So try to listen. And one of the best way to actually get the message behind your anger is to write it down, to write the question down and release all your expectations and allow the answer to come to you. You will be surprised how much information are there that you cannot see clearly. But the moment you ask and you write your question, all the answers come to you and flow after your question. So you're going to learn a lot from it.
That's amazing. And would you say when you write it down that you just write the first thing that comes? I've heard that it's better not to like really use your mind or overthink it, just to like the first thing that comes normally comes from the heart, right? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like intuitive writing. You don't really use your brain. You don't really go through analyzing it and say, oh no, this is not correct or this. You just write down everything that comes. And you will be amazed because this is one of the techniques I'm using for many years, not only for anger management, it's just for receiving the guidance and receiving answers for any questions that I have. I just write it down, write the question, and in a minute, I write in front of it the answer. Most of the time, even my orthography and handwriting is different in the answer.
I'm intrigued, and I think the audience would be super intrigued as well. Could you please tell us an example when you have done it and you've been able to get a clear answer, or just something that led into a creation or into something that you yet didn't know?
Absolutely. This part is actually a little bit just recently. It's something that is in my head that happened recently. As I'm going through the pregnancy, I had a lot of nausea and dizziness. And this is completely new experience for me. So after 4 months, they said like after 3 months, you're going to get better. And 4 months passed, I didn't get better. It was 4 months and a half. And like I was like 18 weeks. And one day I wake up, I feel better. I started to do my morning yoga and meditation. And the moment I want to do my workout, I got dizzy and I just want to vomit. And I got very angry because all my routine, all my life routine, morning routine has been changed dramatically since I got pregnant. So it was like really, I got really frustrated that moment. And with all my frustration, I wrote on a paper. No, first I sit and said, what the hell do you want from me? I was... How much more is 4 months and a half, and how much more why I am feeling so sick? So I was super frustrated, and a message come to my head and say, write it down. So I got pen and paper and I wrote in a really, really angry way, like a frustrated way, what is happening to me and why I'm nauseous all the time. And immediately I started to write the answer. And the answer was that the reason is that you didn't accept fully the progress of your pregnancy yet. The changes that your body is going through and the hormonal changes and also the physical changes. So then the next answer comes. You're so afraid of getting fat that you're constantly looking in the mirror and looking at yourself and say, oh, I'm getting fat, I'm getting fat. And every food that you put in your mouth, you are putting it back because you're sending this message to your body that you shouldn't eat because you're getting big. And then I have this letter, it just like happened recently. So that's why I'm sharing it with you in this question. And it was so empowering because it was eye-opening for me. I couldn't find out the reason I'm sick all the time. So it continued to accept fully the process of pregnancy And affirm and repeat this affirmation: I'm a healthy, happy pregnant, and I accept fully this process and the changes that is happening in my body. So the process of pregnancy, I accepted fully from the beginning. I never thought that I have anything against it, because this is something beautiful that I wanted, and everything went exactly as planned in my life. All my life has been exactly my vision board, and always has been exactly as planned.
Right.
And so it was nothing to come as a surprise for me to not accept it. But the process of putting weight on, that comes as a surprise.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't expect it so early to put so many weights on. So for me, it was like I couldn't accept it. And that was my main reason of nausea. So when I repeated, you cannot believe, I repeated that affirmation once, the moment that I wrote it, my nausea was gone. I did my workout. I had my full day. And ever since, I haven't been nauseous.
Wow. Wow. That is beautiful. And I thank you so much for sharing that. I think that is so powerful to hear, because it shows that with the right tools, and as well as just the person you are in general, to be able to, take down a pen and paper and really write down the answers and listen to them and accept them and keep on with your day, not letting that affect you, but accepting it and reflecting upon it and then letting go. I think that is so beautiful. And I think that anyone hearing this uh, totally should do that, especially if your fear is to gain weight, or if you're in the process of pregnancy as you are. I think that can definitely help everyone listening. So thank you so much for sharing. That was beautiful. I was like, wow, all in the story. For real, for real.
Thank you. I think it is going to be very helpful for people to do the same thing, because all my life, I mean, for many years, I'm doing this process of writing and getting the answer. Without even at the first, I didn't know that I'm receiving answer from another source. I was always thinking it's coming from me. But I promise to you that the first 4 months and a half, I did everything to understand the reason behind my nausea. I did a lot of meditation to understand it, and to tap into my inner wisdom, to understanding from my inner wisdom. It never come the answer to me until I write it down. So what I would really recommend you to do is, not only when you're angry, at any time in your life that you need some guidance, nobody can guide you better than you, which is your higher self, that is always with you, guiding you, protecting you, loving you, and supporting you. So if you open your heart and have faith and trust this invisible being that has been with you since the first day that you came to this planet, you're going to gain such a power in your life that nothing can break you down. So I definitely encourage you to do this very simple technique of writing down your questions and get guidance.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. So basically, I wrote down here, the anger management tools we talked about. Number one, being able to breathe, right? Being able to be present, right? Thinking about a blue cold in breath and a red warm out breath, right? Making sense, right? And then name your emotion, talking to yourself about your emotion, being able to express that with sound. Like if you're feeling angry, I am angry, I have pain here, and be able to express that, to just accept it. And then have compassion, feel the emotion, right? Feel the emotion fully and be able to express it. As you said as well, if you're the pleaser, be able to, squeeze your hands and be able to feel that emotion fully. And then last but not least, be able to write that down with the first answer from your heart. So these are four tools, guys, that you have and we can always have, and that you can share with your friends, family. I personally am being taught through Shima, and I've been able to use these tools myself. And I totally can agree that when it comes down to that writing, I've been able to apply it and being super surprised about the results and how genuine, how honest, and how true they are. And sometimes you just get like, wow, this is exactly what I needed to hear. And as you said, you're like, where does this come from, right? And you actually realize that it's from the source. It's not that ego, you know. So that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful, Shima. And
Thank you.
what I was gonna ask you is that uh, when when did you when did you realize that, you know, or no, I was gonna ask you how many times in order to, for example, when you're seeking that answer of like where am I getting these nauseous from, how many times would you repeat these exercises or these use these tools in order to really get a clear answer? Does that depend, um, or would you get it immediately, or do you just, how do you do it? How do you figure it out?
Yes, so depends if you're used to that technique or not, of course.
Right.
Because for
Yeah.
some people that they just start to write down, maybe it's difficult for them to let go of the narrative of the mind, because that's the whole thing. You really need to trust and open up and listen and allow the information to come to you, and trust that the information that is coming to you are the important information, so you write them down. Sometimes with this narrative of the mind, we are blocking this information. So when the information is coming, I'm saying, oh, no, 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 this is coming, I know that already, this is not correct, this is not. So I don't write it, I stop it, and I stop the process. And that happens. So the more you are able to open yourself and allow anything, as you mentioned before, that come to you, immediately write it down, and don't stop the flow, and continue writing until you get your crystal clear answer. Continue writing. And once you go back and read it, you will be surprised with the result.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So yes,
Thank
Shima, is
you.
there anything else that you would want to add in this session?
I think the only thing I can tell you that be aware, be mindful of the emotions that you're having. Know that the stress, it's the underlying reason for many diseases in your body.
Mhm.
So take responsibility for your own health, for your own well-being, and manage your emotions in a healthy way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Where can people find you, Shima?
So you can check on, we will write it under this video as well, the website infinitelove.es. That's a website where we have all the information about our courses and the coaching and programs. And also the YouTube channel, you can subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have over 100 videos that helped myself on the path of self-development and spiritual growth. So you can just sign up there and get access to all these videos. And the website is Infinite Love Coaching Academy. So when you just write in YouTube, Infinite Love Coaching Academy, you come to my channel. And on Instagram, it's @ Infinite Love Coaching, or at Shima Shad Rouh. That's my personal page. And yeah, so you
Amazing,
can.
amazing. Yeah, guys, go definitely check her out. Shima is a boss lady and just an amazing, genuine person with so much love and caring for others. So truly an inspiration for me and someone I look up to. So yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you so
much,
much,
Ali.
Shima, for this time shared and
Thank
this.
you so much. Thank you for all your help and your support and your beautiful energy that you're sharing with others. I know that you're doing a great things also for others, motivating, and you are already shining your light to the people. And I'm really proud to be part of this program. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Shima. Pleasure.
Thank you. God bless you.